3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Unlearned and Reborn, a podcast where old habits are unlearned and new ones are reborn. Hey, welcome back. It's me, your host, Shania Alyse, and welcome back to another beautiful, amazing, stargazing episode of Unlearned and Reborn. Just in case you didn't know, it's a podcast where old habits are unlearned and new ones are reborn. How are y'all feeling? How have y'all been liking season 2 so far? Listen, I'm really trying to get my engagement up. I want y'all to talk to me in the comments. How y'all been feeling? What's going on? So, first episode with the new hair. Yes, I'm feeling it. Okay. Got the ponytail, rocking a 90. I'm not gonna lie. I really don't know what I'm gonna talk to y'all today about. So we're going to wink it. Excuse the background because somebody want to be on a moped at however late at night it is right now when I'm filming. Anywho, maybe this is just gonna be a girl chat. I don't know. Like I just felt like, okay, I want to get on the camera. I want to talk to y'all. Well, I can at least tell y'all how season 2's been going for me. It's been amazing. I have been getting more subscribers on YouTube. I have been posting more on TikTok, making Instagram reels, working on getting monetized. Well, I am getting monetized now. But yeah, just I guess I want to talk to you about a couple of things. And this may or may not go with what season 2's topic is of healing your inner child. Who knows? Maybe next week we'll, touch on that. But I just want to talk to y'all. Is that okay? I feel like as a content creator, right, it is so easy to get wrapped up in the numbers and the analytics of things. If you're a content creator or even if you're an artist, you sing, you do music, you have a clothing line, whatever the case may be, I want you to be encouraged to not give up too early. It's one thing to literally have been trying and you just don't feel like anything is working. So you're like, okay, you know what? Screw it. I'm done. But there's a whole nother thing about just quitting because you feel like it's not working. And I'm speaking from experience because I've found myself in places where even this year with season 2, where I'm like, bruh, I feel like my podcast should be reaching way more people than what it is. And it's like, guys, like, relax. I know what I'm doing. I got a plan. And it's something special and hard when you're having to wait on God, wait on his timing because, we're human. We think, our knowledge that we gain on this side of heaven is going to be better than his knowledge, the one that created the professors that are giving us the knowledge, or YouTube University or Google University. And it's like, bruh, listen, my best word of advice is keep pressing record, keep filming, keep editing, keep singing, keep doing your makeup. Like, listen, I was on the phone with my mom and my sister when I did my makeup for this episode that y'all will see. And y'all, I had caught myself putting some orange color corrector under my eyes because I was like, okay, I feel like I got a little bit of bags. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And I put way too much. Your girl was looking like somebody had put a tomato underneath my eyes. So I wiped it off. And I was like, you know what? They would literally tell you. I was like, I'm going to just film another day. It's fine. I'll film tomorrow because my husband's off tomorrow. And I was like, wait, hold up. My thing that I am really trying to conquer this month is doing it when I don't feel like it. I find myself so good at doing stuff when I do feel like it. When I'm motivated, I'm like, oh, I'm pumped. I didn't take that pre-workout. It's lit. I feel it. I'm about to go crush the gym. I'm about to go do, whatever. And it's like, I found myself these past few days, like, just kind of like, if you're a creator, you know the slump I'm talking about. Like, just, it's not, you're not depressed. You're not sad. You also are just kind of like feeling a bit stagnant with your content or stagnant with where you're at. And it's like so many people die right there in that little bit of stagnation. Or, say it hasn't been a little bit of time, it's been a long time. A lot of people will die right there. They'll stop, they'll quit. No, I just, it ain't for me. How you know? You guys, I've seen people on Facebook already talking about they just, oh my gosh, like kind of already downplaying the year. And it's like, we're only 10 days in. How were you already done? Baby, we have 365 days in a year. We've already went through 10. So you got 355 more days and you're saying you're done? No, ma'am. No, no, ma'am. No, sir. No. And it's like, if you could just get a little bit of understanding with the way that social media portrays people's highlights and people's best moments and people's, yes, there are some people that are more transparent and they will show you when that stock plummets or, a leak in their ceiling, but those are so few, far and in between. And it's like, it's just not seen every day, right? You see more up, up, up than you do down. And I feel like so many of us, we are so wrapped up in the numbers and what people think. And oh my gosh, it's just, I feel like I should be booming right now. I feel like I should be doing this, that all that feeling that you feel, you kill it off by stopping. Listen, do not stop. Do not get discouraged early. Like, I had to keep reminding myself, like, Shania, you said this was your year. You said that this was the year that you would not limit God when it comes to your creativity. You put him in this little box and you say, okay, God, well, my podcast. And, I want to make sure that I get, I want to hit 100K. I want to hit 1,000. What if he got 1 million for you? Or what if he's like, YouTube is not going to be the only thing you're going to do. You're going to, start touring or you're going to start doing conferences and webinars. But what if you only limit him to YouTube or you only limit him to TikTok and Instagram and Facebook? Don't limit him. He gave you the gift, so you need to then take the gift and go and try to market it as many different ways as you can. And that's where, I kind of feel like it's so amazing, and I love that God gives us the free will, right? Because imagine if he made us do every little thing his way and made us do every little thing like this and like that. It would be boring. I'm not gonna lie. It would be like, ugh, I gotta get up and, do this again. But it's like he gives us the gift and says, okay, now go, go flourish, go and do. And I think we box him in when we only think, oh, it can only come through YouTube. It can only come through TikTok, because that's where I've seen, people in podcasting, they blow up through TikTok. And I don't think it's going to come any other way. No, no, and no again. I want y'all to be encouraged, because for us to only be 10 days in, and there are so many people that are discouraged so early, y'all. Like, no, I don't want this year to be like that. Like, the things that you wrote down, not even 2 weeks ago, like I said, we're 10 days in, not even 14 days ago, you wrote down this list or the couple things, however you did your New Year's resolution or goals, however you dressed it up, you wrote down something that you wanted to accomplish this year. And for some odd reason, 10 days in, you're like, bruh, like, I can't do it. Or I don't even know why I wrote that down. I'm done. Like, it's not working. It's not, and I don't want to downplay frustration. Frustration is a serious thing. It is a serious, like, thorn in our side sometimes, especially when you know that you are, you're literally grinding. And when people are sleeping, you're up doing your craft. You're on YouTube watching how to do this. You're on YouTube doing this, doing that. Like, I just taught myself via YouTube University how to make a little amigurumi for crochet. I learned how to make a little ball, and it's like, now I'm about to start making stuffed animals. Who knows? Maybe I'll sell them on my website, on commission basis only, on request. But I was just like, I felt even good doing that, because as a creator, I've found that when I feel like these little mini slumps or these little times of stagnation, the best way that I can immediately jolt my body and my mindset out of that is to be creative again. Create again. A lot of y'all have given up on the thing, on your gift, and it's like, all you have to do is get up and try again. Make another song. Do another dance. Like whatever your thing is, we all have a thing that God gave us that we are just exceptionally good at. People think it's only sports. People think it's in, oh, I have to have a college degree. Some of us, yes, our talent is associated with those things. But there's another group of us that God just gave us this knack for my mom says, you have the gift of gab. But growing up, I was teased. Oh, you talk so much. Oh my God, you always talking. Do you ever shut up? Do you ever? Okay, baby, when I'm on the stage making millions from talking, you gonna wish. Okay? You gonna wish. You gonna wish you was a part of the 18. The elite squad. And it's like, it's amazing because this is literally what I was put here to do. Talk. I would talk your ear off if you let me. But I guarantee you're going to leave feeling like, wow. You're going to leave feeling like, man, like she really did that. Yeah, I did. And what about it? And what about it? Like, I found that, bruh, as soon as I started creating it and it was with crochet, boom, I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and write my little notepad. Ideas just started rolling in. Listen, the devil knows how to get you when you are a creator. He knows how to stifle you. He will put those numbers in front of you. Oh man, look at so and so's podcast, and they don't even be, they don't even be talking about God on there, and they don't even be sharing their story like you do. They don't even be, man, like, and don't let it be a channel that started after you started your channel, because you like, okay, I feel like I should be, more up and up because I started the channel after the fact. Don't let it be one of those, because he gonna just keep on, Listen, God is not the only person that knows your dreams. He's aware as well, which is why you have to be twice as aware with knowing that, tests are going to come. There's going to be days where you just going to be like, nah, bro, I'm going to just sit in the bed and I'm going to just, eat my snacks. And listen, I'm a snacky. I'm a snack girl. Listen, Pillsbury chocolate chip frozen cookies that you put in the oven at 350 for 13 minutes exact, so that it's a little extra crunch once it cools down. That's my vice, baby. And I said, I don't care how many times I work out, I'm going to eat them cookies. And that's just going to be that. Like, God knows my heart. I'm going to eat them. And that's just going to be that. And it's like we all have those things that we're like, no matter what, like, this is just me. I'm not going to change. Okay, so what's holding you up? Like when I was looking at the analytics and I was looking at the numbers, I was just like, I know it's not because my message is not good. Because a lot of us will get hung up on the good part. No, there are some of us that are doing things well. It's just not it's not reaching who it needs to reach. But in the meantime, while it's, while people are sharing and, it's moving around and it's getting around, keep doing it. Keep creating. You don't want to be a one-hit wonder. And that's why I say, you know what? I'm not even tripping that, one of my videos went viral per se, because guess what? I don't want to be a one-hit wonder. I want to be, when I'm found by, the people that, God has sending my way with my team, my production team, my recording team, my styling team, all of that. I want to have a system in place to where they just flow right in. Because how could you be wanting to have a team of people that are going to work with you and, do your hair, do your makeup, or, produce your music, or, sew your clothing, and you don't even have a plan together? Like, come on, y'all. We have to make sure that we are in place. We have to get out of that fairy tale. I know it's a beautiful box office Hallmark movie that you love to watch, where the girl just thinks about it and she goes through hardships and eventually, she meets the right guy and he has all the answers and they kind of break up. Like, listen, we've seen it on the big screen all the time, but baby, that's the big screen. They get paid the big bucks for make believe. We are in reality. It doesn't happen that way. If you want it, you are going to have to stop giving up. You're going to have to create even when you feel like crap. Yes. Even when you don't feel you're tired, I was tired today for sure. I still decided, no, I'm going to press record. And a lot of people, they're not there yet. And then but they're also mad that they're not where they want to be. Well, you're in your own way. You got to step to the side and say, you know what? God, what we doing today? Where are we recording at? Who am I recording with? Give me a new idea for some clothing. Give me a new idea for these sneakers. We ask God about everything else, but it's like, let him know. Like I'm scared. I'm legit scared. But I want to do this. Like that thing that just is on you, it's on you. It keeps nagging you and nagging you. That's your purpose, sweetie. Every time you've gotten another relationship, this thing is just nagging you. Boutique, boutique, clothing line, album, podcast, podcast. It's just going to keep bugging you. You're going to dream about it sometimes. People are going to tell you, people say, you should start a podcast. If I had $1 for every time somebody had told me that 2 years ago and I still hadn't started the podcast because I was too scared. But they would talk to me and we would have these talks just like me and you are having right now. And they would say, bruh, wow, you should really start. Have you ever thought about starting a podcast? And listen, God is intentional, right? Let me tell you. So God is so intentional, right? That he will send people, whether they're already in your life or he will literally send them. They could be random people that you don't even know. And he will send them to you and they will say things like, man, you can really sing. Do you make music? Or man. And when they say, do you make music? You're like, oh yeah, I do a little something. And you know that that is something that you just always have felt drawn to make music and to make content and to, do these things, right? He'll send people to say, man, I like that shirt you got on. And you'd be like, oh, I made this. Really? Do you have a website? No, I just make stuff for myself. Girl, you should really have a website because that's really cute. I would buy that. 3 months go by. See, because he gives us time, right? God will give us time. Once he sends those first two, he'll give you some time in between to see what you're going to do with those two mini confirmations. Those two small little confirmations that you asked him for. You asked him for. And even if you didn't ask him, he's still gracious enough to give us those confirmations because he knows that we are human and that we will still be like, oh no, I just don't know if I can do it. If that just means that I'm supposed to start, opening up that website with my clothing. Like I don't know, because we're thinking big, we're thinking more on the aspect that, all the things that have to fall into place before, we can do that. So we're thinking, okay, yeah, I posted, but or yeah, I opened a website, but I want to be on New York Fashion Week. I want to be in Vogue. I want to be on the front. I want to have a 6-page spread in blah 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 magazine. I want to, we're thinking of all the big accolades and accomplishments. Again, we're human. We are wired for self gratification. We are wired to be praised for our accolades. So don't be ashamed of that. But the issue is when you're so wrapped up in all the, oh my gosh, I can't wait for this to happen. I can't wait for this to happen, that you haven't made any progress. You haven't moved anywhere. Like you haven't done anything. Mind you, I said he sent 2 confirmations on what you should be doing. And you're still waiting for you to be walking on the street, with your coffee and all your paperwork in hand, because you out here trying to make it, and you just randomly bump shoulders with this person. You drop all your paperwork. They pick it up and they say, "Oh my gosh, wow, incredible! Wow, did you paint these?" And you're like, "Yeah, I was going to the art gallery to try to get them sold." Wow, it's just your lucky day. I actually own that art gallery over there. Like, come on. You watch too many movies, and clearly I do too, because that's another movie scenario. Like, listen, that's the only thing I blame Hollywood. Like, well, I blame them for more than that, but that's a whole nother episode. But I really think they have really brainwashed us in a sense to believe this nonsense about this perfect one. Like, we are so geared to wish for that 1 in a million chance. When you get a chance every day you wake up and God says heart start, Brains start thinking, eyes open. Every time that he gives you another day, that is your one in a million. But no, we're like, nah, I want them to come find me. I want them to, I want to meet them face to face so I can pour my heart out and tell them about my story and, and this and that. But God's like, you have everything. We have $1,000, some of us $1,500 in our pocket, our iPhone. I'm going to talk about iPhone because that's the only phone I know. I haven't had an Android in years. No disrespect. Please keep watching the pod. And let's pause here. Listen, what are you doing if you have not liked, comment, and subscribed yet? I'm going to need you to do that. I'm going to need you to pause and share with somebody and say, listen, this girl is very, very funny. And I think you should come over here and look at her podcast because, baby, why not? You know what I mean? So press play. 1 second, because it's a little cold in here. I need to turn my heater on. BRB. Okay, press play. So, yeah, and listen again, I'm laughing and stuff, but I'm telling y'all, I know from personal experience that thinking that way is only, it's just going to be thinking. And you can get so wrapped up in that fantasy thinking about your dreams becoming a reality. We have the ability to make our dreams come true. Now, I'm not saying, because there's a flip side of that where you feel like, okay, well, I'm going to just do it myself. I'm going to just do it. No. Like, again, God gives us free will. But I prefer, if I had to choose, making it out on myself, by myself, and doing it on my own versus doing it with him. I'd rather do it with him because I know, one, he truly does have my best interest at heart. And he can see the things that I am not able to see all the time. And he knows when people are trying to misuse me, abuse me, take advantage of my, talent, undercharge me, for events or, whatever the case may be. So I'd rather have him with me than without. And that may be the crossroad that you're at where you feel like, okay, wait a minute. I'm ready to start, being more consistent, but, I just don't know. Like there's that uncertainty that, okay, how do I know that, I'm going to make it to the top doing it his way? And that's just me being real. Like, I get it. Again, we are wired this way to be like, no, I want to do it this way because in my mind, this is a certain outcome. I put in 50 hours, I get paid for the 50 hours. I work overtime, I get time and a half. Boom, simple, easy. But God, you like, okay, you gonna get a podcast and then you gonna put stuff on YouTube and you're not gonna get paid for it just yet. So you want me to just put my content out there and not get no money back. It's not adding up. The math is not mathing. I thought you said it was flowing with milk and honey. Like, what's going on? So, yeah, just for real. I want you to be encouraged and just know that your time is coming. Do not rush because, again, like I've always said, anything that comes fast will not last. Don't rush the process. Trust it. Trust the process. It's very cliche, but listen, so many people just glaze over that part. You got to trust the process because when you have truly been through it, like when I had my first business, story time, right? My first business, shout out to my OG business, Alyse's Custom Creations LLC. If you look at it, don't. I'm just laying. So I had a t-shirt business, and listen, everything happens for a reason because I plan to open up another business eventually. Probably like I wouldn't mind doing it this year, and that's gonna be my separate, strictly, t-shirt business with, just custom makes to order. Anywho, but I had that business, right? I opened it during COVID, 2020, I believe. Yes, 2020. It was open for a little over a year, literally a year and like 1 month. I had it open, and then I was like, you know what? Don't want to do this anymore. I closed it. But what that and I was like, God, I don't understand why I did like why did I have that business? Like what was the point of me having that business if I just closed it and now I have a brand new business with a podcast? I truly believe one of the lessons I learned is to enjoy the process, right? But I learned a lot of things that most people don't because I was the CEO, I was the publicist, I was the PR manager, I was the photographer, I was the editor, I was customer service, I was the supervisor, I was escalations. I was all of that myself. And it truly made me appreciate what a business can be when there's help. But listen, imagine if I just got, gifted that business and it was already booming and bringing in six figures. I just got here. Like, I don't feel like I would have the same level of appreciation for it. I'd be grateful because, baby, my pockets would be very, very happy and smiling. And so would my husband and my kids. But it's just a different level of appreciation when you have truly built that thing from the ground up. Like you have some pride in that. And that's how I felt. And it was a semi tough decision for me to close it because I knew I really did enjoy making t-shirts. I enjoy using my Cricut. Shout out to Cricut. You can most definitely sponsor your girl. Like, the best. And I knew that I really enjoyed doing that, but where I started to lose out on the enjoyment or the longevity of it is what I talked about earlier. When I started looking at the numbers and what I was bringing in versus how meticulous I was and really just making sure everything was lined up and everything looked nice and my packaging and folding the clothes all nice, I was like, man, I might be putting more in than I'm getting out. And that was hard for me because I felt like I was almost giving up on that part of crafting that I really enjoyed. But girl, I still make t-shirts. I made us those Christmas photos that I posted on my personal Facebook, um, and even on my Instagram. I made those t-shirts for us, for my family. So it's like I still do it, but I don't have that grudgingness feeling that I used to have because I felt like I was not being compensated for my craft. So that's another thing I want to talk to you about. So, how many of y'all have felt like you're not being, you're not being compensated properly for your craft? And I mean, you're really, really good at what you're doing, whether you are a beginner or not. But you just feel like, because maybe the flip side of this, because you are a beginner or a novice in the industry, whatever the case may be, you feel like people are not taking you serious. How many of y'all have felt like that? And it's like, I'm not going to lie, I do think some of that is it, that, we need to get our feet wet and, you can't just come slamming through the door like, okay, bet I got 2 videos that went have at least 100K views on TikTok. Boom, I demand my 6-figure deal. They're gonna be like, first of all, who are you? Are you from DoorDash? Like who are you? That's first thing. Secondly, why are you interrupting our meeting? Like, what's really going on? So it's like there's always that battle of valuing yourself and valuing your time versus your experience. And what I learned through that process, and even with what I'm doing today, is that when it's your purpose, there is something that God can give us that experience does not always give us. So you know how they say, oh, experience is the best teacher, but it's not the preferred. I have learned so much stuff through experience. I'm not going to lie to you. I really have. And some stuff, in order to learn it in each of our lives, we would have had to have experienced it for ourselves. How many of y'all can attest to that? Listen, I got both my hands up. Come to YouTube and see that both my hands up and my foot. Look, and my foot, my barefoot at that. It's clean though. YouTube, if you saw it on YouTube, you know. But literally, learning how to get over heartbreak, I had to get my heart broken first. Learning how to value myself and value my body, I had to go through some things first in order to say, okay, wait a minute. You're not just about to be, busting it open. Excuse me, if that's vulgar, but you're not about to be doing that, No, you're going to value yourself. You're going to, hold yourself to a standard. You're not going to be, out here acting like that. No. And how did I get to that? Because I had to have experienced some things of where I was disrespected or where I was violated, to where I said, okay, wait a minute, I got to start setting some boundaries and start taking care of myself and presenting myself in a manner so that I don't get treated this way. And if I do get treated this way, this is how I'm going to react to it. And it's the same way with our lives. It's the same way with our purpose. Just look at your life. Can you look at your life and say that, man, I don't know if I would be the same person if I hadn't experienced this or if I hadn't experienced that, if I hadn't, dated that person. Like, but of course, hindsight is always 2020. But some things really do make us. But it may break us on the way, but it makes us in the end. And that's what, I would just want to encourage you to hold on to, that this year can be such a monumental year for a lot of us, but you have got to stay focused and you have got to stop looking at what other people are accomplishing. And I'm not saying you don't congratulate your friends. I do. I'm always in somebody's comments congratulating them, whether they see my comment or not. Go tab for her Target partnership. Like, whether they see me or not, I am always, for the most part, because sometimes I just don't be seeing it. But that is my intention, to really be vocal and supportive of my friends and my friends and family. And it's like, even if, and that can even be a bothersome thing too, if it's somebody that and let's be real, that they don't put in as much work as you do, yet they're benefiting and reaping as if they put in as much work as you do. That could be hard sometimes, man. And that's how I felt when I had my t-shirt business. I had started it first amongst a lot of people that was on my Facebook page at the time. And I wasn't even tripping, like, cool, whatever. But sometimes I would feel like they would be getting like more attention and more like orders or more, what do you call it? Visibility to me. And I'm like, bruh, I've been doing this for 6 months. Like, you just got here. What? Like, bruh, I can already see that on your like, look, your stuff ain't even like your stuff. Like, I mean, I used to be going in, and I said, you know what? Let me get off this social media stuff. Let me stop. So another thing I would like to, talk with y'all. Y'all got to clean up y'all social media. Or I don't know if that's nice for me to be saying y'all. I had to clean up my social media, because I realized that a lot of the reasons why I would have these Debbie Downer moments, or I would have these days at a time where I just like, oh my gosh, I just don't feel, or oh my gosh, like my stuff is just not doing what it's, because I was following, and it wasn't that I was necessarily following people negative, but I was following people that I did admire, but because I was not fully grounded in where I was and okay and content with where I was intimidated by their numbers, or I would get discouraged even with their numbers. Like, dang, oh my gosh, this thing dang went viral. Like, this thing has 600,000 plus views. And like, bruh, wow. Like, and it, a lot, I would be admiring it, like, man, wow, I want to be there. And then before I know it, I want to be there turns into, oh my gosh, like, who knows if I'll even get there? Or, oh my gosh, like, ugh, I could be doing that. I could be doing just a downward spiral. So sometimes you really do have to start by cleaning up your social media. And that's when you are going to have those nitty gritty conversations with yourself and ask yourself, is it because, am I really offended by what they're doing, or am I envious because it's not me? And listen, don't be hard on yourself. It happens because it's what you're seeing. But how you fix that is you might have to unfollow them. And it's not no hard feelings, but you got to get to a place where when you're going down your timeline is encouraging you. Your timeline is pouring into you. Your timeline is, I'm not saying you go to your timeline, read your word. That's the first thing. But, I'm not saying that you go to your timeline like, oh, I just have to have, this motivational speech from this person. Like, no, but you don't want your timeline to be like draining you, if that makes sense. And I did have to unfollow like even some famous people that I really did rock with. Like, I was just like, in this season of my life, I can't have that type of content on my timeline. Like, I need this specific type of content only on my timeline. And I had to do that. And I can honestly say it's been great since. Just being honest enough with myself to say, like, okay, I can't take this right now. Like, I can't take this in this season of my life. And understanding your season, that's a whole nother podcast. Maybe I'll talk about that next week. A little tidbit, a little nugget here, a little sneak peek. Understanding your season is something that will really, really, really help you. Because if you are still operating in your new season from your old season's mindset or objectives and goals, baby, you're not getting anywhere. And you're about to be super frustrated because you're going to see so many people advancing over you because they have made the switch and you have not. New season, new goals, new mindset. And even if you do bring over some goals or mindsets that did help you from the previous season, something new must be present. I'm not saying you always have to have, oh, bet I'm gonna switch up. That's like every quarter me switching up my background. Like, this is the same background from season 1. I tried to look around for something, but I wasn't willing to settle for something that I didn't really like. So I'm like, okay, there's nothing wrong with the backdrop. Just because it's season 2 doesn't mean I have to, go out and get all this new equipment and all this new. I'm going to keep it. Cool. Whatever. If I find something that I like mid-season, I'll change it then. Sometimes I think we complicate things and we don't have to. Be simple. just leave it simple. Can we do that? Can we do that this season? Can we be more simple? Can we do that? Because I think that trips a lot of us up. I remember I used to, oh my gosh, season 1, this checklist that I had, checklist. My tongue getting tight just thinking about it because, baby, it was, oh, do this, do that. You need to make sure that you're doing this. You need to make sure you turn the closed captions on. You need to make sure that you add chapters to your video. Listen, I'm sure all of that's good. And I know that it is helpful. But there are just some things that I said in season 2, I don't have the time to do. I legit don't have the time to sit. And that's why, I'm thanking God for the team that's coming. Because when I have a production team, absolutely, I would love for them to add chapters and make sure that all my videos have closed captions and make sure that, the closed captions are accurate. So that means that person's going to have to sit and watch the video. So it's like, and I watch my video, but I don't watch it for captions and, yada, 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 the whole 9. So it's like, I learned to be kinder to myself and more practical. Again, I am not fairy tale living. I'm not in this cloud all day where I just, my life is just so amazing. And again, don't get me wrong, baby, my life is amazing. Don't get it twisted. It's amazing. But I'm realistic that, I don't have time to just be sitting here and just breathing in and breathing out and lollygagging. Like, sis, press record, get it done. And I love the way that I'm even editing in season 2. Like, I just feel like it's more realistic. Like, I remember in season 1, y'all, I dreaded recording because I knew the very next step I was going to have to do was edit. And that was going to take hours for me to do. And still, it does take a few hours for me to do. But the way that I edit now, because I like the flow, like how I speak, and I try to keep it as natural as possible. I feel like I'm not using up my time as much on editing. And that's amazing. I get to spend more time with my kids. I get to spend more time with my husband. Like, I enjoy my family. I talk about it a lot, but I'm going to have to do my own podcast of just how much I really am blessed and I love my family. And I told God that if I'm going to do this content thing, even if full time, because I'm pretty much doing it full time, honestly. But, full time, with pay and, with traveling, I said, God, like, I want to be able to take my family with me. They have to be there with me. This is not a solo, the great Shania Alyse. Like, I have a family. I had a family before the podcast, and I'm going to have a family after. And I want my family to reap the benefits of what you have blessed and given me. Like, I don't want to be on the road for days at a time or away for days at a time. And I have to miss being away from my kids. I have to send them with their grandparents. No. I want them to come along with me because their dad will be present. Like, I want to retire my husband so that he can also, help me with the vision. Be there so that I can see my children in the crowd, see him. They probably won't even be in the crowd. They probably won't be backstage. But, all of that. I envision all of that. I see all of that. And I keep that in mind when I get discouraged about the numbers and I get discouraged about the subscriber count and the viewership, count and the watch time. When I look at all of that and I'm like, dang, it could be that. Listen, I remember, Shania, that you have a long term goal. You said you want your family to be able to be experiencing generational wealth. You want your family to be able to experience what you do for a living and be able to reap the benefits and travel with you and all of that. So when you see that watch time is not where you would like for it to be, or the subscriber count is a little low for today or a little low for the week, remember your long term goal, which is to be a full time creator, be paid vacations, paid time off, um, do webinars, do conferences, do guest panels, all of that. Remember, that's what you want. You know, the subscribership and the watch time and all of that will come with it. Brand deals. I'm literally looking at my board of 5 brands that I said this year I want to do a brand deal with them. Those are my long term goals. So I have to make sure that I think of those things for sure when I get discouraged. And I want you to, whether you have to have a sticky note, whether you put it on a whiteboard, I want you to make sure that you are thinking of those things because that will help you and keep you grounded. It'll help you not give up because when you're in that frustrated state, all you're thinking about is, oh my gosh, like, this is just not working. It's just not doing what it's supposed to do. And just, all the whole nine, just unhappy. Oh my God, blah, 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 that kind of thing. And it's like, there are so many things that we forget that we said we wanted to do with this gift. We wanted to do with our craft, but we're so, we become so narrow minded. Open your eyes, sit back and take a breath. Even as I look at my children, I see that they're growing. I'm like, I can't be on the road and doing things with my podcast to where I miss this. I have to be here. I want to witness them growing. I want to witness them, just being kids. I love that. I love that I get to not work. And because, this doesn't feel like work to me. I'm not going to lie to y'all. It doesn't. I get to talk. I get to be me. I get to hang out with y'all. Like, this don't feel like work. But I remember when I was working, even a remote job where I was still at home, but I was working. I remember how I felt. And I was like, God, like, I can't, I don't want to work like this. I want to be able to wake up when I want to. I want to be able to create content. I want to be able to do all of those things. I remember telling God, clocking in, like, yeah, God, I want to be debt free. I want to be, all of that. I want to drive this, I'm thanking you for my new house, all of that. So again, if you have to write it down to remind yourself, do that. If you have to, you have a little area where you do your makeup, that's a perfect, beautiful place to put a sticky note. You are enough. You are going to crush it today. We give our children those little, those little picture books that have those nice little pictures and those motivationals. You are so strong. You are so beautiful. You are so awesome. And then we grow up as adults and we don't tell ourselves that anymore. Why not? You are strong. You are awesome. You are beautiful. You are enough and you can do this. And you are not going to give up. You are not going to throw in the towel. Like, we're not even halfway through the year yet. I ain't gonna let it happen. You two, come over and see my hands crossed. I'm serious. This Big Elise talking. This big dog. I play entirely too much. I liked this. I liked this episode. I think this is about to be the way that I flow. Because normally I write down notes and it just doesn't feel authentic to me. Maybe I'll have, of course, more serious podcasts, and this was a decent, I listen, I like it. And, I'll still, address the topic or the theme that I picked for this quarter, this season, healing your inner child. But I had to encourage y'all. I had to. I wouldn't be Shania Alyse if I didn't encourage the people. So I hope you felt encouraged. Listen, what was your favorite part of the podcast? What was your favorite part? And tell me something that you have struggled with so far this year when it comes to your craft and your purpose. And tell me something that you are going to do better. I'll start. I struggled, like I said, with over analyzing, my analytics. Like God, like I'm doing, what you said, do the podcast. I'm doing a podcast, but the numbers is like, why didn't my podcast is only getting like 4 views. What's going on? But what I'm gonna do differently is if I look, that's it. I'm looking, and I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna continuously check because that's something I would do too. Check 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day. I'm gonna have a admin day where I check up on my analytics, write them down, log it, log off, and go on with my day because my gift will make room for me. Amen. Can the church say yes? Listen, I don't have it on today because I kind of I don't know. I just wanted to wear my shirt from Shein, honestly. I don't have no deep explanation of why I don't have no merch on. No, I have to place another order. Girl, what? Yes, I buy my own merch. And what about it? So, yes, I need you to stop by my store. I have fan merch. I've put up 2 new designs. Tell me about it. All right. Yeah, I think I've said all that I wanted to say. I enjoy you guys. I love you guys so much. Listen, I need y'all to comment down below. I need ideas of what to call my listeners, my audience. What should I call y'all? The Alycers? That's whack. X that. Don't even. I can't even believe I'm gonna even post that I even said that. I need you to come up with something cooler than that. The Alycers? Sis. That's why I'm asking y'all, because clearly my ideas are not the best. So please comment down below. If I choose it, you'll get a piece of merch from my store. Okay? I love y'all so much. Like, comment, subscribe. Okay? Meet me back here same time. What? Next week. You already know what this. Okay? Can you do that? Love you as always. Talk soon. Bye.